right? So, question here, what is Tawhid? What's the answer? Tawhid is talking about the oneness. Wahid, yeah, Wahid, oneness. So when we say Tawhid, we want something a bit more specific. What you're saying, you're on the right lines. It has got affirmation negation to it, so I'll put that down as correct. But when we're talking about Tawhid, we're talking about in lordship, names and attributes, and worship. Good. Or what you could say is giving Allah, the Most High, the rights which belong to Him. And that entails lordship, names and attributes, and worship. Right. So that's my next question, actually. So that's actually answered it. How many categories are there for Tawheed? And we will say that there are 3. That's good. Right. Shirk. What is shirk? Shirk. Now we know what Tawheed is. Shirk is equating see the right of Allah, the Most High. What are the rights of Allah again? Lordship, worship, names and attributes. Right. Question: how many types of shirk are there? Or categories, even you could say, of shirk are there? Yes. So there are 2, major and minor. Right. Question: what's the difference between major shirk and minor shirk? We did in the worksheet talking about the ways that we can tell the difference between major and minor. So we said major will have the al definitive, whereas minor will not. Minor may have a verb action, whereas major might not. But here what we're talking about is by definition. What's the difference? When there's a person who's making sujood next to the grave. So you ask him, why are you making sajda here? If he says, because I want to worship this person in the grave, is that major or minor? That's major. Why? Making them pray. Excellent. Right. So now the person has, let me just do that one there. The person has superseded the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because now what he has said is that he wants to worship the person in the grave, he wants to worship the idol, he wants to worship the cross or anything like that. So what he has said is, I don't want to worship Allah, I want to give the rights of Allah to other than Allah, so he's superseded, may Allah protect us. What if he says, I want to worship the person I want to make dua to the person in the grave, I want to call out to the person in the grave to get closer to Allah. But I'm worshipping Allah, I want to worship Allah, but I'm using this person to get closer to Allah. Is that shirk or not shirk? Still shirk, but which one, major or minor? Major. But why is it major? Because he has equated it. Because what he has done is that he is supplicating to other than Allah. Even though he is saying his objective is to worship Allah, he has worshipped something besides Allah, so he has equated. Right. What if he says, I am worshipping at this grave, not to worship the person in the grave, I'm supplicating to Allah, I'm making dua to Allah, but to seek blessings from this place. So he goes next to the grave. He's worshipping Allah. Sincerely, he's worshipping Allah. He's not doing any funny business. He's making dua to Allah. But then when you say to him, why are you doing it here? Why are you not doing it in the masjid? He goes, no, I want to do it here because it's more blessed. Is that major, minor, or simple? This is the difference between major and minor. Major, the person has superseded and equated. Minor, by definition, is where a person has made a cause what is not a cause. This person is making a cause of blessings what is not a cause, so this would be a form of minorship. Be a form of minorship because he thinks that there are blessings there. And blessings can only be given by Allah with those things which are actual. So if a person was to wipe this table, saying, you know, I'm wiping this table, I know blessings are from Allah. The table has no ability to give me blessings, but I'm just wiping it because maybe Allah will give me blessings through wiping this table. He's making a cause what is not a cause. So that's minor. If the person wipes this table thinking, you know, they're going to get blessings from the table itself and they've got the ability to do so, or Allah has the ability as well as the table, that's major. Right. What if this person goes to the grave and he says, I'm worshipping by this grave because I just want to. I don't believe I'm worshipping anyone in the grave. I don't believe that there are any particular blessings at this grave. I just want to. I think there's going to be more reward, for example. So this would then be an innovation. This would be bid'ah. So the person goes to the grave and he says, yeah, there's more reward of me worshipping Allah here. This would be bid'ah. Although, I mean, this one still would be, I mean, you might find some of the ulama saying what we've just called here minor as being bid'ah as well, because it is bid'ah. I mean, all of it is bid'ah. Nothing has been legislated here, which is correct. So this is the difference. This is what we have studied so far. This is what everything in the first 5 chapters has been talking about. What is Tawhid and the importance of Tawhid and the categories of Tawhid and affirming and negating and giving those rights which belong to him subhanahu wa ta'ala and the reward for those people who do it correctly. And then we looked at shirk and what is shirk.